In 2017, I had referred to the Cary Towne Center as struggling. With 2 dead anchors and an almost dead wing, it was an ominous sign of what was to come. 2 years later, in 2019, the condition has deteriorated even further, with JCPenney on its way out. Let's return to this mall and see just how far things have fallen. As we did with the Stanton Mall in Virginia, this is another mall I want you to hear for yourself. So I'll tone down the music and let the ambience speak for me. Dead silence works to intensify the sound of buzzing lights and odd noises that echo throughout the halls. While signs of life are more prevalent throughout the rest of the mall, this wing is just completely gone. How long before the rot spreads to the rest of the mall? It could happen sooner than you think. In fact, it's probably happening right now. To recap on this mall's history, Cary Towne Center began life originally as the Cary Village Mall. When concepts were laid out for the mall in 1972, developers Sebby Jones and J.W. York had initially planned for a 75-store project, as well as 3 office buildings and a motel. The project would total to $25 million at the time, and only the motel was never built. The center was proposed to be built between Walnut Street and Western Boulevard Extension, which has since been renamed Cary Towne Boulevard. The mall was hit with controversy, however, as a group of residents known as the Citizens for the Better Direction of Cary. The group was concerned with the location being so close to Henry Adams School, Cary High School, and East Cary School. They were also worried of the increased traffic that the mall would bring forth. Hell-bent on their opposition, the group had hired an attorney and put pressure on the town council to monitor the development. Developer York expressed frustration with this, stating that everything had to be approved 10 times. JCPenney, which we're skimming through now, wouldn't come until much later. By the time you're watching this, JCPenney will be long gone, and the space will likely be demolished in the coming future. Despite the community opposition, on February 21, 1979, Cary Village Mall would finally open with 325,000 square feet of retail space, as it held the anchors Ivy's and Belk Hudson. The mall's original design was a modified pinwheel that held around 4 wings, which would be parallel to the streets around them or facing those streets. One would lead to the backside of the mall and face additional land which would be used for future expansion. In the center court, you could expect to see a sunken food court with a triangular shape to it, sorta like a conversation pit. Perhaps a dining pit in this sense. On a side note, some speak of a large southern red oak tree that was present on the property, with great care being taken to preserve the tree even as expansion grew around it. However, a survey of the land shows that the tree appears to be gone now. I can only speculate that it was removed in recent times, perhaps during a renovation. The mid to late 80s would spark word of competition coming to Cary, as big shot L.J. Hooker proposed a massive mega mall nearby, which would have cost around $240 million to build. Totaling at 1.35 million square feet, the mega mall would have increased Cary's tax base by 18%. However, given L.J. Hooker's history, this would have likely only resulted in a massive backfire, killing both itself and the Cary Village Mall had the project gone through. After roadwork and site clearing began, the project was shut down as a national recession occurred and L.J. Hooker filed bankruptcy. Despite this, development still occurred, with a large mixed-use center called Crossroads Plaza opening in 1991. The project was spearheaded by New Market Development and is owned today by Kimco Realty. This new center would have spurred Cary Village Mall to update its image, as they applied for a zoning change to make way for a new expansion. At this time, the Richard E. Jacobs Group would own the mall and would rename the mall into Cary Towne Center. The expansion was approved, and the mall would be upgraded to 1.1 million square feet in 1991. This new expansion brought in Sears, Thalheimer's, and JCPenney. Following the renovation, Dillard's, whom had acquired Ivy's, would build a completely new building, leaving the old pad to become more inline tenants for the mall. Things seemed prosperous for the mall at this time. New food court, 5 healthy anchors, and the Research Triangle to back Cary up. Thalheimer's would be absorbed into Hecht's portfolio around 1992, and then Hecht's would subsequently be devoured by Macy's in 2006. Earlier in 2001, the mall would be sold to CBL and Associates along with 21 other properties across 9 states. CBL would be ultimately responsible for the way the mall looks now. No concrete date has been found for the renovation, but it is likely to have occurred between 2005 and 2012. I personally think the mall has suffered greatly for this renovation, as it has effectively been bleached. In an effort to maintain relevance, CBL and Associates attracted Dave & Buster's to the mall in 2013. But this didn't stop things from going wrong as the area began to sour. Outparcel Harris Teeter moved away from the mall in October 2014, building a larger location across the street. Then, the beginning of the end came as Sears closed in 2015, following its own path to destruction on the corporate level. That same year, Topgolf sought to open a driving range center on the property, but this plan would be shot down due to concerns of lighting and noise expressed by a neighborhood near the mall. The mall continued its downfall as Macy's closed in 2016. However, there was hope for a while that this mall would gain IKEA as they expressed interest in demolishing the Sears parcel to build a new store. While they would be their own unit, this would have brought in plenty of money for the area and potentially the mall as well. Despite clearing city ordinances, however, IKEA withdrew its plans at the last minute in late 2018, citing America's retail apocalypse for their refusal to expand in the US. With nowhere else to turn, CBL and Associates cut their losses and put the mall up for sale, where Turnbridge Equities would buy the mall in early 2019 for a reported $31 million. Following this immediately, however, JCPenney announced they would close their location at Cary Towne Center, one of 27 locations targeted for closure. As of June 2019, Belk and Dillard's are the only anchors of the mall, with Dave & Buster's serving as a junior anchor. Turnbridge Equities has announced a major redevelopment plan that would most likely demolish Cary Towne Center and leave only Dillard standing. In the mall's place would be a massive downtown-like grid that would be used for non-retail space. Whether or not Turnbridge Equities will live up to this plan remains to be seen at this time. Whatever happens, it would appear that Cary Towne Center's life as a mall will soon be over. The silence in this mall feels like an omen of things to come. It's only going to get worse from here on out. The tenants have given it their all, and maybe a little bit better. But the time is coming to search for better spaces. And now, the time has come for this tour to draw to a close. I do hope you enjoyed touring the Cary Towne Center with me for the second time. Do tell me about your experiences with this mall if it was one of your stomping grounds. And if you want to discuss more about Cary Towne Center's future, then do come join us on the Dead Malls Discord, which is linked below. Well, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Doomie Grunt, wishing you and the Cary Towne Center farewell and good luck.